What's going on, everybody? I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things I was thinking about. I was thinking about Malcolm, Martin, and Medgar, and in regards to black business. Medgar obviously started way before the other two brothers, uh, basically speaking about black people doing for self, doing for self with self. What I mean by that is doing for self with black people around the world, because we are in more places, obviously, than just America and Africa. Um, Martin Luther King, at the end of his life, started speaking about black people doing for self also. When he said basically he feels that he integrated his people into a burning house. No matter what we do in America or a lot of places around the world, we never get the recognition that we so richly deserve. We, no matter what instances or what uh, you know benchmarks we set, we don't get the recognition that we deserve. And then we have Malcolm, who basically preached about self-reliance and black togetherness and unity and working together. Now, these brothers basically died before and if not in the 60s. Martin obviously died in the latter in 68. Malcolm in 65, and I can't remember when Marcus Garvey died. But the point of the matter is that these three brothers were working towards or working for the unification of black people in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and for us to be independent. Now, we control, and I said this before, we control $1 trillion with a T in the American economy. That would make us the probably 14th to 16th richest economy on the planet if we would pool our resources for the betterment of the race. The 14th or 16th richest economy, and that's without even having a quote unquote country. If we actually created an African America, think about that. 14th to 16th richest country on the planet. Now, you have nations inside of the United States. Native Americans have their own nations. You got the Sioux Nation and the Cherokee Nation and the Blackfoot Nation and Seminole Nation and all these other nations of Native Americans around the country. And they've, carved out, even though it for most of the tribes is a very depressing state, but for the ones that actually are thriving with casinos and whatever else business situations that they've done, they've started thriving. We black people can do the same thing. I was talking to a brother the other day. He was saying that I have a very nice idea of black people working together and coming together and reunifying the race through the reunification of the black man and woman to create more black children. It's a very nice dream, but it's not set in reality. And I told the brother, I said, it's a very attainable goal. It's like Nike, you just got to do it. Black people love each other. We just allow others to poison our minds against each other with shows like Empire and Love and Hip Hop and Scandal and all these other stupid shows on TV. They show you the negative of black people. In rap, we We can't have, you know, X clans. Shout out to Brother Jay from X Clan. We can't have X clans. We can't have Paris. We can't have ISIS. We can't have conscious rap. You know, just the Talib Kweli's and you know, Immortal Techniques and people like that. You know, get into the mainstream and stuff like that, break through for the most part, because negativity sells. For people who watch wrestling, you know this name, Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff used to own WCW, who got bought out by WWE, used to be WWF. He wrote a book called Controversy Creates Cash. And that's a true statement. Anything negative in America is going to get the most press. Look at the presidential race right now. Who's in the lead? Donald Trump. He's the most negative individual out there. Billionaire. Or at least multimillionaire. I don't know what his worth is right now, but just, you know, multimillionaire, billionaire. Everything he says damn near is negative. But he gets the most press because controversy creates cash. Now, what does that have to do with black business? We allow people to dictate to us what is good and what is not good. We can have one bad experience in the black business and we don't never want to go back. We can have one bad experience in an Asian store and keep going back because it's convenient. Oh, she was having a bad day. Oh, there's this and that. The store that Latasha Harlins got shot in Watts, it was patronized up until the riots when they burned it down, but still, you have Asian stores all up and through Watts and Compton. I think I told the story of I live basically 12 miles away from Watts right now in a city called Norwalk. It's not that far away, but it's far away. It's basically 24, 25 miles round trip. I drive from Norwalk to Watts to go to a black beauty supply. I pass up probably 30, 40 white owned and Asian and other owned beauty supply stores just to get to this one, because I want to spend my money with my people, because at least I could say I did what I could to help the business survive. Now, it's not convenient because it takes time, because I mean in LA traffic is terrible, but it's convenient for me because at least I know I'm doing my part. And that's what we have to do as a people. We have to do our part. We have to support our businesses. We have to help them grow. For the most part, a business owner with common sense will take constructive criticism about their business and try to do something with the tools that they have available. Now, everything can't be done in a timely fashion. Like if somebody wanted gold floors, some things that don't make sense, but just say for argument's sake, if the white man has a gold floor at his store, black person who says, I want to go to a store with gold floors. Okay, cool. If I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. If I can't, I can't. But at least we have that dialogue. You will dialogue with the white man. You will sit on his blogs and on his websites and complain and critique what he is doing. For argument's sake, we got Facebook. You sit on Facebook and complain about Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, or just on Facebook itself about, oh, this feature don't work, that feature don't work. Facebook has a thing where if you find a mistake on their site, they will pay you money for finding that mistake. Instagram just paid some little kid some $10,000 or something like that for finding some mistake on their site. I think they put it there on purpose, or maybe they didn't, but this little kid got like $8,000, $10,000 or whatever. Not saying that this will happen all the time. It's just that people will critique these businesses free of charge. You working for them for free. Facebook has a 2% employment rate for black people, but their employee rate is probably 25, 30% probably. Because black people spend more time on Facebook than anything, but you won't go to a black social media site. because of whatever. It's hard. I can't do this. I can't do that. We need to get out of that mindset. It's detrimental to our survival, not only in America, but in this world. Because if we don't have jobs, we can't survive. We don't have any money. We don't have. Do you understand how this political process works? Political process works like this. It's like a car. You don't put no oil in your car. You don't put no gas in your car don't go. If you don't have any skin in the game in politics, you get nothing. Now in the 60s, we had Malcolm, we had Martin, we had Medgar, we had the NAACP for, working, and we had the ear of politicians. Not saying that they would actually do a whole lot for us at one time, but you know, we took that little hammer and started chipping away at that wall. In the 70s, they started fixing that wall. In the 80s, the wall was fixed. In the 90s, you could just forget it. We have no leaders. We have no real leadership. We have nobody actually doing anything because we don't have any skin in the game. The black politicians that we have in office that we try to help and get elected. I saw a newspaper today that said, support those who support us. And the whole front of the newspaper is a black newspaper. The whole front of the newspaper was full of black people, the elected officials. And I can't think of one thing that none of these people have done. We have Kamala Harris here, that she's the state district attorney, and she's done nothing for black people. She's engaged to a white man. She's done nothing for black people, but she's supposed to be helping us. The district attorney? Really? The district attorney is the number one law enforcer in the country. She needs police and law enforcement to make cases. What has she done for black people? More black people are in jail than anywhere. We have a higher population rate in jail than we do on the street in California. So she's done nothing for us. Same thing with these elected officials. I lived in Watts. No jobs there. Minimum wage, hamburger places. The biggest employers there are Food for Less, CVS, and and Superior Market. Unless you're talking about McDonald's and Burger King and the other fast food restaurants, that's all that is there, and a healthcare center. But you got to have a healthcare degree to get there. All I'm saying, black people, is we need to start taking the examples of Brother Malcolm, Brother Martin, Medgar, and all the other brothers and sisters that came before us and start supporting and building up our own businesses. We don't have any more time left. Obama, we thought he would do something for us, but he's done nothing. Nobody can give me 3 instances of what he's done for black people specifically. Specifically. Now, if you don't know what that word means, you need to look it up. Because if you're coming down here with an answer talking about, well, he's done, he did this and that. I'm talking about specifics. We have to depend on ourselves. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Till next time, it's our time now.